Hey everybody, this is Deb with Truthification Chronicles, and I wanted to draw your attention to this article that came out on July 25th that you might not have seen. Jeffrey Epstein and Senator Dianne Feinstein's husband were co-investors in an exclusive private equity fund. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein invested $30 million in a private equity fund alongside the husband of California Senator Dianne Feinstein, demonstrating the extent of the disgraced New York financier's ties to political movers and shakers, according to public documents reviewed by Business Insider. Yeah, so records show that Epstein and Feinstein's husband, Richard Bloom, were both investors in this Second City Capital Partners 1, a $100 million fund founded in 2004. And then it's run by this son-in-law of the guy that started it, Strauss Zelnick, a well-known media investor who was briefly floated last year as a potential CEO of CBS. The fund had approximately 40 limited partners in total, according to an SEC filing. Many of these investors were not disclosed, but since Epstein's investments made up nearly 1/3 of the $100 million fund, the two entities associated with him were disclosed in public filings. A $30 million investment on behalf of the billionaire, Leslie Wexner. So, not only do we have Dianne Feinstein's husband, but we also have this billionaire, Leslie Wexner, who, if you look down here, it says he was the founder of The Limited and also that he owns Victoria's Secret. So that gives you a little perspective on him. But anyway, notice that this SEC disclosure form shows that this Second City Capital received a total of $30 million in 2004 from two entities that share an address with Epstein's U.S. Virgin Islands headquarters. And it's the COUQ Foundation, a nonprofit Epstein uses to fund science-related projects. Yeah, just let your mind go crazy on that for a while. And an entity called YHS. So I just thought it was very interesting with this. I'm not going to go through the whole article, but if you're interested in like finances and that kind of thing, you probably would be good at reading this, and maybe you can find out more information. It does say, though, that Feinstein's husband's holdings are in a blind trust and that she has nothing to do with them, but yeah, we know about that. Anyway, it's kind of concerning that he had little to no due diligence before investing, that he just jumped into it. He didn't really have to have any basic information about it before he made the decision. So, again, I will leave the link to this down below. He has a company called ID Biomedical, which I thought was interesting. And Bloom, who is Dianne Feinstein's husband, his investment more than doubled in 3 years. Yeah. Okay. And here it says, she has no knowledge, ownership, or control of any of those holdings. Yeah, okay. Well, this brings me to a point I want to remind you of. We need to make sure that we're keeping tabs on spouses and children, because there are rules and there are requirements for people who are members of the House of Representatives and the senators. They have to provide information about their finances, but their spouses and their children do not. So we need to keep an eye on that. We need to remember that they don't always have the same last name like this. And of course, with Rod Rosenstein, his wife's name was Lisa Barsumian. So sometimes we just don't notice because their names are different. But yeah, that's who it is. And I thought you would appreciate hearing about that. That you can keep in mind, we need to keep an eye on the relatives, the spouses, and the children. Like this one right here, and I have pointed this one out before. This was from May 20th. A charity run by the wife of Elijah Cummings received millions from special interest groups and corporations that had business before her husband's committee. He has the House Oversight Committee, and could have been used illegally, according to an IRS complaint filed by an ethics watchdog group. So I'm going to leave this too down below. You can read through it if you haven't heard about that at this point. But yeah, that is kind of being investigated. Of course, Elijah Cummings and his wife both say, no, there's nothing to it. Of course not. Uh-huh. Yeah, right. Well, I want to take you to Twitter for just a couple of posts here because, there's just a couple I found interesting as I was there today. And one of them is from James Comey. And, of course, the 17th letter of the alphabet pointed this one out. So I did want to share it with you, though, because I know a lot of you don't have Twitter accounts and you may not really understand what's going on in Twitter, but Comey just doesn't know when to be quiet. Comey and Brennan, they are really they keep saying things. They have not learned their Miranda rights. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Yeah. Anyway, one of the things that strikes me about Comey is his Twitter handle is @Comey, as if he is the only Comey in the entire world. The guy is so arrogant. Oh, he is like the poster child for hubris. So he says millions of 2016 Trump voters are not racist. Well, that's a true statement because I'm not racist. Are you? No, we're not racist. We voted for Trump. Now those Americans need the strength of character to resolve they will not again vote for someone who clearly is. Well, I got news for you, Jim Comey. If Trump is a racist, he's like really, really bad at it. And we know Trump's not bad at stuff, but yeah, he's just awful at it. He is not skilled at all because he keeps doing it wrong. He gets the lowest black unemployment in history, and for Hispanics too. And I think Asians is really down too. It's very low unemployment. So, and then he does that first step thing that really helps out a lot of minorities that were wrongly imprisoned or imprisoned for abnormally long periods of time for really minor offenses. So, I just don't get it. And he pardoned a couple of black people. He's doing it so wrong. He is very bad at it. So, the whole thing, that is such a bogus claim. But it's how they work. They keep saying it because they hope if they keep saying it enough, people will believe it. And unfortunately, evidently, 35.2 thousand people have believed it. So anyway, he goes on, he says, it's not about judges or taxes. Oh, it's not about judges. We don't need honest judges. We don't need judges that actually uphold the law, no matter whether the person has money or not. Gee, why would you be standing up against that, James Comey? Weren't you somebody who was supposed to be a head of a law enforcement organization? Or taxes? Oh, see, they use the taxes thing as their way of saying Trump is bribing us to vote for him. When, again, psychological projection, they're actually doing that themselves. They bribe their voters all the time with free this, free that, free that. That's what they tell them. But it's really a bait and switch because they promise them that and then they turn around and it eventually comes back to bite them in the butt and the people are worse off than they were. But that's content for another video. Anyway, it's about who we are as a nation. So just who are we, James? Are we somebody who doesn't like how the election came out, so we undermine a president, a sitting president, and we create a coup against him? Yeah, is that who we are? I don't think so. Anyway, I wanted to show you some of the people that have commented on it, It's just funny when you see them. Some of them just have some really good stuff. I like this one right here. Backpedaling now, are we? You've called us every name in the book. We don't forget, so trying to sweeten your language isn't going to change a thing. You've been caught with your hand in the coup cookie jar. You're busted, Jimmy. I like that one. And then down here. Oh boy, Comey, it looks like the gig is up. I'm surprised you're not in jail yet. I liked what Praying Medic had to say. I have 2 words for you: military tribunals. And by the way, I have a video. If you've never seen that part of the Kavanaugh hearings, before things went really off the track, there was a regular hearing and there were actual questions being asked of him. And Lindsey Graham did an excellent job on those. I did a video on it and I'll put the link down below too. So, yeah, far too late to walk back out of the cornfield now, James. Yeah, and Devin Nunes, of course, had a post about it was time to do the corn, to pick the corn. So I think it's in conjunction with that. And of course, that picture and post. And I like this one. Buy American, right? Yeah. I like this one too. I, as a Trump voter, am not racist. I did not vote for racist, un-American Barack Hussein Obama. I did not vote for the racist, evil Hillary. I voted for the patriot, Donald Trump. Yeah, and then, of course, I had to put this in there. And by the way, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I do try to follow people back, but I'm not in there all the time. So I try to get in once a day, but it doesn't always work that way. And so 2 or 3 times a week, maybe 4 times a week, I get in there. And my handle is @ergo_supero, because ergo means therefore, and supero means I survive. And it's actually a quote from one of my characters in my book series, Cogito ergo supero. I think, therefore I survive. So yeah, keep an eye out. I'm going to have a t-shirt coming with that on it. But here's the full tweet that I did. Yeah. So this is just something that should never have happened in the United States. And I hope that when things are coming out, that people are going to be appalled by what they find. And I hope that's going to be soon. Anyway, this I thought was pretty funny. This is from Matt Gaetz. And who you going to call? And look at the meme. Yeah. By the way, there is some legislation in Congress, I think it's in the Senate actually, that could make memes a copyright issue. So you could be like fined $15,000 for putting out a meme. So I don't know. I've got to look into that. I haven't had a chance yet, but yeah. So in case you don't know who these are, this is Mark Meadows, Devin Nunes, Matt Gaetz, and Jim Jordan. And so there they are. And they also included Tom Fitton's name down here, which I'm glad. A Donald Trump production, Hoaxbusters. I like that. But then down here, somebody saw that and then they wanted to kind of add a little extra to it. So they did this version. Bill Barr. So I thought that was funny too. But that's the Twitter stuff I had for you. You know, I don't like this new format that they have, but oh well. Gotta live with what you gotta live with. I don't know. I think they did it to confuse us more, but we'll see. Anyway, I wanted to bring your attention to this particular channel in case you're not aware of it. Body Language Ghost. I love watching her videos, and as a writer, I often try to incorporate body language into my novels so that, you know, it's not just saying he felt nervous. I can show it by, you know, having him tap his fingers or you just things that you do when you're nervous. And so I've done a little bit of study on it, but I tell you what, watching her videos is very educational and I learn a lot more. And so when I watch people in videos now, I tend to look at their facial expressions and some of the tension in their jaw lines and their slight little movements that they often make and where their eyes are pointing when they're saying things. I just highly recommend her stuff. But anyway, I wanted to point out to you that she did 3 on the Mueller hearing, and here they are. One of them was just Mueller's mental condition, because there, you know, a lot of people are saying, does he have Alzheimer's? Is there something going on? Well, she believes that, you know, according to the signs that she has there, that he is in full possession of his faculties, but that he was kind of putting things on. There were times when he was very stressed by questions that were being asked him. I think, you know, she doesn't really contradict this, but I think that he sincerely did not know a lot about the report because he didn't do it. It was not his work product. And so anyway, there's that. And then here's like where he's being questioned by Matt Gaetz, Lee Gomert, and I think it's Tom McClintock. And McClintock did a really good job, though, in his questions. And then this one was where Jim Jordan laid into him. Oh, Jordan did a great job. But, you know, she's got a lot on other things. This was interesting about the squad when she did that. And there's just, you know, she does a great job going through and picking up on things. So I thought she was accurate with what she said here, and I noticed a few things too. In fact, there was one question, I don't remember what it was. This guy in the back behind Mueller, there was one question somebody said, and I don't remember who it was, but that guy had a visible reaction to that question. And he really should not, I mean, he just kind of jerked back. There was just a reaction by him to that question. I don't know who that guy is. I wish I did. But I think he was with Mueller, or at least maybe friends of Mueller or something. But yeah, he definitely responded to something, one of the zingers that one of the Republicans put in there. So that's what I've got for you on this one. I want to thank you for stopping by, and I'll see y'all later.